The Resume Store has been in business in Pinellas County for 15 years. I began doing this back in the mid-90s for myself. I came to Florida from New Jersey, and I wanted to get a job here like everybody wants to get a job now. And I ordered some materials out of South Florida, the Miami area, and it was rather concise. It really talked about some unique ways to create cover letters and resumes, albeit what I created then would not work today, given the climate. Now, I want to qualify that I operated without a fictitious name registration until 2009. The Better Business Bureau uses the date you got the fictitious name registration for the day you began your business, so they reflect me from 2009. Prior to that, I was Share Enterprises, and you could probably find some of that on the internet to verify it. Over the years, the rules have changed exponentially for creating resumes and cover letters due to the economic anomaly that we faced a few years ago and the growth of unemployment. Employers are inundated, absolutely overwhelmed with paper, and they needed to create rules. They're not fair rules. I think you probably have a better chance of getting a job with a slot machine than depending on the kind of rules they set. However, they needed to create a process to minimize the size of the stack. Home Depot, in the first year of our job loss dilemma that we went through, received something like 25,000 applications for management positions. And that was just one company. So you can understand why many of these companies have went to the system of applying on the computer. Because you don't pass or fail that, you either get a red light or a green light. If you get a green light, the human resource person will talk to you. And if you get a red light, then no, you won't receive a call. And you don't know what that answer is because you're not told when you take the test. Employers have put a lot of systems into place to just get the large volume of paper down to a manageable size. These have nothing to do with your skills. They have nothing to do with your qualification. They have to do with formatting and the way the content is represented. If you've been watching the news, if you've been watching Fox, CNN, all these 24-hour stations, even local news, it has been reported that human resource people are spending less than 10 seconds doing a visual scan to determine if somebody will actually take a look at it. The reality is, I may think something is great in that 5 seconds, and you may want to put it in the trash can. So therein lies, if I can use the term crapshoot, therein lies the dangers. So what do you have to do? You really need to create a resume that in that 5 seconds has the greatest chance of being put in the we're going to look at more thoroughly pile. And without that ability, you really minimize your chances. When I came to Florida and looked for a job, it took 3 to 4 interviews to get hired. And I wasn't spectacular at that time. I was just like everybody else. Today, it's 13 to 15 to maybe 20 interviews for some people to get hired. Now, how do you get 5 interviews, 6 interviews, if you don't have documents that create that call to action, that first of all, a cover letter that gets that interviewer excited enough to want to read your resume. And when they read it, to call you and say, we'd like to have you come in for an interview. We'd like to meet you. This is what I've done over these past 15 or so years. What I created 15 years ago would not work today. It wouldn't work for me, and it wouldn't work for anybody. The rules have changed. I've been following this entire progression of rule changes according to the new environments being created by the increased unemployment since then.